Poplin's YouTube channel. Thanks again so much for your orders. We've been packing this week and just love seeing what you're making. We love seeing what fabrics you're pairing with which patterns. It's always really exciting. So this week we're going to be showing you some fabrics and patterns for July. So we're thinking summery stuff. We've got ginghams, cottons, linen jerseys and viscoses, and some patterns that we think will inspire you to get making. So without further ado, let's go! So first up we've got this really lovely printed cotton poplin. It's a really nice weight for summer, not too heavy, not too thick, and still a little bit of drape. This one is the painted floral in the colour yellow. We've got two colours, a green and a yellow, and this, it kind of matches my top actually, but it's a really nice mustardy yellow with bright pink fuchsia flowers, and it's just really nice mix of colours. So we thought for this you can make a Friday Pattern Company Saturday skirt set. So this is two-piece, you get both patterns in the one pattern, and it's a shirt, it's kind of like a wrap shirt or tie front shirt, and a skirt with a flat fronted waistband at the front and then elasticated waistband at the back, which is always great for fitting and comfort. And again, likewise with the top, you've got the options so you can tie it different ways. We had a quick look on Instagram and saw a few people tying them in really pretty ways, so you've got a few options with that as well, and nice and adjustable. So you could make the top and the skirt in this, or you could do one or the other and mix and match with like a plain one as well. We've got some nice washed cottons which would go really well with this if you wanted a plain option, which would be great I think for the skirt as well, because that's a little bit weightier than this. But yeah, we just think that would be a really nice set, great for having a bit of a versatile mix and match thing in your wardrobe and just be really pretty. So next up we've got this really lovely Viscose poplin. Now it's much more drapey than the cotton poplin that I just showed you, because it's a viscose, and it's still got a bit of stability. So if you're learning to sew with drapey fabrics, a viscose poplin is a really good one to choose, just because it's easier to cut out, it's easier to sew with, it presses really nicely, and I think all of those things just help you when you're learning to sew with drapey fabrics. We thought that a True Bias Calvin dress, wrap dress, would be a really good match for that. I think it would look really pretty together. You can do, this has got two views, so you can do a top or a dress. The top is basically the dress just sort of cropped off, but if this kind of fabric is more your thing as a top to pair with jeans or something, I think that would work really nicely as well. So this has got bias binding all around the neckline and sleeves, and like I was saying earlier, this fabric would work well in that. I think it would make your life a little bit easier for doing sort of fiddly sewing like that. And yeah, I think the result would just look really pretty and be really stunning. And next up we have this wash cotton, which is a really lovely type of cotton. It's nice and stable, it's opaque, it's light enough to make trousers in for summer as well, which I think is always like quite a hard balance to find. It's got beautiful texture where it's kind of been washed, and it just works really well for actually a lot of patterns. We think it would work well for trousers, dresses, tops. It's just a really great versatile fabric. We've got it in 6 colours, so if this steel blue one isn't your thing, we've got another 5 on the website that you can have a look through. We have paired it with the named patterns I Know trousers and culottes. So there's 2 views on this. You can do a tapered leg or a wide leg, slightly more culotte style one, and they are a really nice trouser. So they've got flat front again, but elasticated back, which is always a win in my book, just because it's easier to fit and I think a lot more comfortable as well. So this one is an intermediate pattern, so one if you're learning a few slightly more advanced skills. It'll take you through things like pockets, patch pockets, you've got optional top stitching, you've got the fly front. So there's a lot in here and there's a lot of information that will teach you how to do that. Again, like I was saying earlier with some of the other fabrics, it's nice if you can do that on a really nice stable fabric, and this wash cotton is just right for that. And then to go with those trousers, we thought we'd do a jersey t-shirt. We've got this really lovely linen jersey, which again has a beautiful texture. You might be kind of able to see, but you'll be able to see it a little bit more on the website. We've got 3 colours of this. This is the white. Both of the colours would actually go, both of the other colours, sorry, would actually go nicely with the trousers we just put together. And for this we thought we'd go for the Chalk and Notch Max Tee. This is a really lovely pattern, so it's a kind of off the shoulder style. It's got different neckline options, which I think is really helpful as a beginner with jersey, because it gives you a bit more room to try different things out. So you can use a ribbing, which we've got loads of colours. You can pick a really nice colour to go with it, or you can do it without, which I think is really helpful. It's also, another great thing about this pattern, it's got 2 bust cut options, which I think makes fitting a lot easier and a lot nicer. So you can do an A-B cut or a C-D cut, which is great. They call it beginner friendly pattern, and I think that's because there's loads of information in there. And they also have a sew along on their website. So I think if you're a beginner to jersey sewing, would really recommend these two together. So next up we've got this really lovely yarn dyed gingham cotton fabric. It's yarn dyed, so that means that it's the same on the front and the back, which you can see, which always just makes it a really nice finish. It is this lovely pink colour, which we think is very summery, very pretty, and we've paired it with the Nina Lee Bakerloo blouse and or dress, so you can make either. The dress has got a really lovely gathered skirt, the blouse is a bit more straight, so you could do either. It's mainly for the beautiful collar that this one has. It's a real favourite here in the studio. You've probably seen us making it before. We thought that, especially because you've got the gingham, you can play around with sort of which direction you cut pattern pieces out, especially for the collar. So it could be really nice to cut it out so the front of the collar is on the bias. You'd have a lovely sort of contrasting check with the front bodice, which would just look lovely. Another thing you could do is, we thought it'd be lovely with some white cotton lawn as the frill. So it's got a little frill all the way around the oversized collar. That would look really pretty together and just help it stand out, which I think would look beautiful in the gingham. And again, super summery and super pretty. And our last fabric for July is this really pretty Viscose Seersucker, and it's called Petals Blue. It's quite a subtle seersucker texture, but you will be able to see it. It's fairly flat, but it kind of gives it a bit of stretch. Not loads, but just a bit. It's still really drapey, but it would be, again, like the other viscose that we showed you earlier, quite nice to cut out. It's fairly stable. We thought for this one it would look amazing as a Sewing Patterns by Mason Daphne dress. Now I think this is her most recent release. It's just a beautiful floaty maxi dress, very Bridgerton vibes, got really sweet puff sleeves that are kind of elasticated, and with this I just think that would look very, very pretty, very summery, very floaty, a real dream to wear, especially because you've got a little bit of stretch in it. And yeah, I think that that would just be a beautiful match together. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We really hope you enjoyed this video and like to see some of our favourites for July and what we might be planning to make. If you want to see more from us, you can like and subscribe below, and we release a video every week to show you new ins and our favourites and our team picks, so it's always a fun time here. Thanks so much again, guys. See you soon. Bye!